Welcome to the Republican Professor. This afternoon, we have with us the woman behind Instagram's The Fatty Truth. And her name is Roz.
It's Roz.
Thanks for being here, Roz.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm excited. I mean, I don't normally do this stuff, but I figure, yeah.
Well, I'm reaching out to people on Instagram. I'm reaching out to people I follow and stuff. A lot of people don't ever get back to me. You got back to me. I noticed you have a lot of followers on Instagram. I can't remember why I started following you. I must have seen your post somewhere. I'm not sure whose account it was, but in the last couple of years, I started following people. Well, actually, I didn't really do much on Instagram prior to the last couple of years, but I started following people, and you always had first of all, you always had like a lot of stuff, a lot of stories, and it seemed like it was always a mix of Bible verses and memes that I wanted to steal for myself, but I couldn't.
Nice.
Or I try to give you credit for it, but like if I could screenshot it in the right way, I don't know how to do memes myself. So,
well, everything I have is from other people as well.
Okay, gotcha.
The issue was for people though, is that if it was my own stuff, they couldn't tag me because I was shadow banned. So, and I'm still shadow banned.
Okay, tell us about shadow bans because people don't know. A lot of people that are quote unquote normal people don't know about these shadow bans.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that, and how do you know about it?
So I still don't know if, because like, Instagram will tell you, oh, our fact checker said blah blah blah. You're spewing all this, fake news stuff and BS. So
they only fact check people they don't agree with. And they don't fact check everything. I mean, it's weird because you could say the most ridiculous thing and they certainly don't fact check themselves.
Right. So I have an inkling that it's partially from hashtags and partially from possibly people just saying, oh, she's talking poop again, and we're just going to report this. And that's something that people can do, but then also I stopped tagging other accounts because when I did, a lot of people were losing their accounts at one point if they were getting tagged. But then people would still tag because they didn't understand the algorithm or whatever it was called. But for me, I guess if other people were already fact checked for something, then the worse it was, and then I would get like these warnings. Oh, you're like, now the newest thing is, oh, your account is yada yada for 90 days. You can't do this, you can't do that. But it's been years now since anybody's been able to tag my account.
Wow.
So, yeah. So it's just, I guess it's just so that other people can't share, whatever
shame
I'm
on
sharing.
You. It's a way of saying shame on you and
it's
trying to distort your view of yourself as as if you're a bad person or something.
Right. But
it's manipulative.
Because, right. So, but what really sucks about it is once you've gotten, warnings, they restrict your views somehow. So like here I was getting like thousands of views. And then all of a sudden it was like 50, 20. Like, okay, so then when
I had the same thing happen to me too, so I know exactly what you're talking about. I never had thousands of views, but I went from what I had to zero.
Yeah.
With no explanation. And no explanation. Yeah.
Same. So exactly, right? So just imagine going from, even if you just had 500 views like per story to like 2 views. 2 views per story.
How many Instagram accounts have you had and how many times have you been censored?
So what's crazy is I've never lost any of these bigger accounts. I at one point was posting to to my private account, like just like my, the account that I use to stay in touch with like family and, kind of see what my friends are doing and just kind of like keep it like calm. It's a calmer like account.
A calm account.
It's my calm account. And, it's just like pictures of me and my husband, pictures of our dates and like our travels. And I lost that account at one point.
How did you lose it? What do you mean?
Like all of a sudden it wasn't there. It was gone.
Wow.
Yeah. And then, so
it's still gone?
No, it's back. It's back. Oh, I don't even know how that happened. But then, and I've heard other stories where people will say, oh, Instagram sent us a message and said, oh, it was a mistake. Sorry. We didn't mean to do that. And then they also have you appeal through Facebook. And then they send you this code and it's this weird process. And they're like, okay, write this number down on a piece of paper and take your picture with it so that we know that it's really you. I don't know. But yeah, it was weeks before I got it back. And this is like an account that I had, since the beginning of Instagram. And so it's like all my pictures.
That's your Calm account? Wow. They shut down your Calm account.
My personal account.
Yeah,
personal
right.
Account. Yeah.
But it's not like you were,
I was
some
sharing,
revolutionary or something. Yeah.
No. Like there's like 600 followers on there.
Picture of you with your ice cream or something.
Yeah, exactly. It was just, yeah.
Even that was too much for them, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah. So it can make you kind of paranoid. Like, do you ever feel like that? You're feeling paranoid because everybody else, if you're around a bunch of non-political, well, there really are political, but just people that act like they're not political people, they act like they don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so I was pleasantly surprised because when I decided to start posting on my bigger account, it was precisely because it was a bigger account. Can
we get the backstory on that? Like, how did you come up with the name Fatty Truth? Because a lot of people are like,
"What in the Fatty Truth?" It wasn't always the Fatty Truth.
Okay, what
I was a keto account.
Oh.
I don't know if you scroll down through my account. It's all pictures of food that I was a recipe creator.
Okay.
So ridiculous.
So what was the original name of it?
It was Ketowology.
Oh, and you changed the name of it?
Yeah. So
how did you come up with that? Yeah, how did you come up with the new name?
I don't know. It was just I wanted something.
I'm pulling it up right now. I'm gonna take a look at it.
I wanted something humorous. Yeah. I don't know if you found me through. I had a post that I put up. It's archived because I got so much hate from it, and it was just before I posted a picture of Donald Trump.
Okay. Oh, really?
The first post I did was called. It was Plot Twist. It said Plot Twist, and it was basically telling everybody, I'm conservative. I'm also a Republican. I voted for Trump. All this, all that. And you wouldn't even believe the hate I got on that and how many people shared it. And at that time,
it's all food.
Yeah, it's all food.
I don't think I've ever noticed that. I don't know why I didn't notice
it. That's okay because I
guess I look at your stories. That's what I look at.
Yeah. And like, to be honest, stories do better than posts now. And like reels do even better than stories. Like Instagram's changed over time. So,
okay.
If you'll notice a lot of people on their pages, it's all reels. It's all like,
Who took these pictures? Did you take these pictures of food?
Yeah.
What was so is the idea that these are all healthy foods or these are just foods you like?
Yeah. So okay. I had an issue with but it's always been an issue and it's always going to be an issue all my life. I'm a binge eater. That means I like to snack.
This looks really good.
I like to snack.
Yeah.
I like to snack and so my sister had started on this, and I hate to call it a diet because it's just for me, just a way of eating better. And so I started eating that way and just my mind changed. My everything changed.
Here's a picture
Oh
of
yeah.
salmon with it's sushi with cauliflower rice.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I got it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And it changed everything for me. That's how my journey started, even more so beyond like the pandemic.
Mm.
And
Well, let me take a
yeah,
look at these dates of these food things. So you
I
got,
think
2018. Okay.
yeah,
So that was a
yeah, yeah,
few years before the crazy.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you
But
were uh somehow I can't remember. I should have screenshotted the story that maybe I did, but you did a story recently. That's why I reached out to you about.
right, I remember what it was.
You do?
I
Okay.
was showing memories of
Yeah, right.
yeah, like how I had lost my job and
Mm.
everything was
From the
changing.
shutdown, from the lockdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Was that
You
March
know,
of 2020? When was that?
yes. Yeah, March.
You lost your
And
job.
right. So we had been working weeks after my boyfriend then had lost his job, and he had been home for 2 weeks, and I was still working, and it was like a medical setting, but we weren't wearing masks or anything at that point. And
Mhm.
yeah, it was weird. It was weird. It's just one of those,
How long were you out of work?
huh, a long time. I didn't think I was ever gonna go back to work.
Oh my
My
gosh.
husband had gone back to work, I don't know, I think 6 months after. And then so I was out of the job, and I really didn't know if I could go back. I don't know if you know what I do for a living.
I don't.
Okay.
I
So
know
I'm
you
a
live in
medical,
New York, and I know
yes.
that you're very passionate about culture and politics. And I know that
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have some kind of faith background because I see the scriptures. It seems
Right.
like you always have Bible verses in there somewhere, and it's like you'll have these um intense, fun, sometimes very funny, but always serious with a serious purpose political commentary, and then you'll have
Yeah.
like a calm Bible verse or something.
I try to balance it. I don't
Yeah,
want people to
I
think I'm
noticed
that
that.
crazy. I
No,
don't want people to
I
think
do notice that. I do notice
that
you
it's,
try to balance it. Yeah. Okay, that's
right.
all I know. And that you live in New
Okay.
York.
Okay. So I'm a medical massage therapist. Okay.
Okay.
And so touching people at one point wasn't a thing.
Mm,
That's not,
right.
So
Okay.
it took a while before we were even allowed to work.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and so I didn't think I was going to go back again. And then I actually just started in January, found a really great job and love it. So
Cool.
happy that I'm back to work and I don't have to rely on the government for money. So
Are you doing the same thing?
I am. I
Okay.
am. I
Cool.
am. Yeah.
Awesome.
I am.
Yeah. So that's quite a journey for you. Now, I forget what the story said. It was a memory, and
See if I can
it
find
seemed
it.
like I didn't even recognize it as you, because not that I mean, I only knew you as the Fatty
Yeah.
Truth. And I think I'd
Right.
seen a
So,
picture of you somewhere, or a video where you did some video
okay.
commentary on something, but so I knew
I,
you were a woman, but that's all I
I,
really
I
knew.
do feel like my posts are recognizable
Mm,
now.
okay.
Sorry, my hair is a mess. I didn't know I had a rat's nest in my hair. Sorry.
No problem. I didn't even
Where
notice.
is it? I'm looking. Here. Okay, I have it. It says something like,
Yeah.
as per yesterday's stay home order from NJ Governor Murphy, my job has decided to close for the unforeseeable future and cease non-essential medical services. I'm currently a little shook at the thought of being jobless for the first time in years, but I'm so very hopeful that this rude awakening will bring us change and rebalance in all our lives. Stay home, stay safe, and send good vibes.
That's what it was. That was what was surprising to me, because I could not imagine the Fatty Truth saying that. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, she went through a change.
Yeah.
That's why I reached out to you. I was like, I want to know about that change. I want to hear
It's
about it.
uh, it's so crazy because even when I was posting wear a mask or like, I had friends on Instagram who were already so in the know about the BS. And so every so often they would message me and they would be like, it's really not that much of a big deal. And, like they would like try to, capture and I'm grateful because there were people that were so great with me and so patient with me until I got to the point where I was like, oh my gosh, you're so right. This is ridiculous. This is insanity, And then not to say that I don't feel like anybody should not wear a mask. I don't know. I can't, that's a little hard to,
Well,
I
when
don't know
you
how you
say
feel about it. How do you
no,
feel?
I hate masks. I think it's
Okay, so
I think it's child abuse to make a
okay,
kid wear it. I think it's
good,
it's
good.
totally damaging to the kid. And
Right.
I have no idea what it's doing to our civilization. I mean, we're going to find out
I
in a
mean,
few years.
not to mention like the garbage it's produced, right? So what's funny is I stopped wearing masks a whole lot longer before everybody else did. And really nobody confronted me except for one woman at the supermarket. And this was already like this was maybe a couple of months ago. I was just like, are you crazy? I'm like, stop yelling at me at the supermarket.
How long did it take for you to start seeing it was BS? Like from the
How long?
from the time it started, like March of 2020. Was it weeks? Was it months?
Maybe weeks. Maybe weeks.
That's pretty quick.
Yeah, but everything happened so quickly, you know? Unfortunately, like for instance, my husband had to wear a mask to work every day, regardless, because whatever, you know? Um,
What's he do? Do you want to say?
he sells cars. He sells cars for a
So
living.
you gotta be sensitive to the customer if they want a
Right.
mask. Yeah. You don't want to lose a
But
sale.
it was just, yeah. And then at one point, they were like, you don't have to wear one anymore.
Yeah.
And then weeks later, they said, you have to wear one again, which I'm
Mhm.
seeing in the news again now because of monkeypox. I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
am I supposed to say that? Oops. Oops. Yeah.
Yeah, the good old MP. We haven't got any tags on
Oops.
that. Well, this is how crazy it was. I don't know if you saw this post of mine that I did recently. I basically did a screenshot of a memory that I had from, I don't know if it was a year ago or 2 years ago. I think it was a year
Okay.
ago, where I said I noticed that my Facebook posts were getting tagged with the the the
Like almost like a warning.
the flu tag that they
Okay.
do.
Okay. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get that all the
So,
time.
um, what I said was, I'm requesting that Facebook tag this post with information one can get to prevent the disease that President FDR had, and I got the tag. Got the tag on that. Basically, it looks like that Facebook thinks that FDR had the new
Yeah.
flu, the
Yeah. Yeah.
flu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
And I did that with like Rock Hudson. I don't know if you know who
So
that
crazy.
is, famous
No, of course I
actor.
do. Of course I do.
Yeah.
I'm not that young. I'm
The
not
young
that young.
people don't know. And I got it. I did it for one on grade inflation. I said we all need to be protected from the disease of grade inflation, and then I got the tag on that one. So just it's like if I do a post like that and it makes it look like FDR didn't have polio, but he had this new flu from China,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's not fact checked. They don't fact check themselves. So that's why I hate it. I hate partial fact checks. I hate
Right.
biased fact checks. If you want to do fact checks on everything, okay, knock yourself out. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And not to
Yeah.
mention, can you tell if somebody's joking? I mean, it looks
Yeah. No.
weird. And are
Exactly.
you going to tell me when something is true, not just if something's false?
Of course not.
Are you going to
Of
tell me
course.
if something's meaningless? I mean, how far does this go? So it's like, I just think that Facebook and Instagram have no business whatsoever doing fact checks at all. I think you should just stay the
Yeah,
hell
well,
out of
no,
it. Just let us
from
do
the
it.
beginning,
Yeah.
I was like, what are you, what happened to free speech? Like,
I don't
I
think
mean,
it's a value of Democrats.
people are free to, you know, kind of believe what they want and, kind of see different information, have a different perspective. And if they don't like it, then they can leave, but
Well, I'm coming at it from a professor standpoint where I saw what Democrats did to the college campuses.
ugh,
They do
yeah,
not believe in free speech. There's a reason why the campuses are the way they are, and it's because they suppress speech. They suppress views they don't like. And
you're actually going to
it's
be,
not surprising that they do it on social media or with
yeah,
the government. You saw Biden, he wants to have some kind of ministry of disinformation. That didn't surprise me at all.
supposedly it's gone though, right? It's done. She was fired
Just
because
the
she was
fact that they
insane.
just the very fact that they had the thought
I know.
in America.
I know. It just sounds like a joke.
Yeah,
You're gonna laugh. One of my best friends is actually a professor from California, Republican professor.
praise God.
Yeah, yeah.
What does she
Ugh,
teach?
English?
Okay.
English. I think it's English. Oh my gosh, she's gonna kill me. She's gonna kill me.
Well,
But she's like
don't
also Republican conservative, so thought I'd let you know that.
well just don't tell us much about her. Just tell us her last name, her social security number, and exactly where she teaches and her zip
Got it. Got it. Got it.
code. That'll be enough. Well, okay, so you're close friends with her?
Yeah, we met through Instagram,
Oh, cool.
and found out that we were one and the same person.
You met
One and the same.
a friend on Instagram. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, it's so crazy, right?
How cool is that?
I know that that alone is much, but the way we met was through a fitness another fitness friend, and it was
Mhm.
funny because we started talking like really randomly, and obviously she started following me because of my stance on politics and religion and all that, which was great. And then I found out that we were born on the same day.
Oh, cool.
It's so weird. Yeah.
So
So
have you ever seen each other in person? Have you ever done like a Zoom call or
no,
whatever? Okay.
no. Oh yeah, no. We talk on the phone and all that stuff.
Oh, that's
but
good.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely planning to take a trip out and just like maybe see her. It'd be great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So it's good to know that there's at least one other professor in California that isn't crazy.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
so does she ever tell you about what she's dealing with on the campuses? On the campus?
Yeah, to some extent. Yes, definitely. Um,
She's a professor of
she,
English. She's in the middle of it, I guarantee you.
yeah. I mean, I think she complains more about how she sees the students are pretty. I hate to say the word woke, but I guess that's the best word to use. Like, really, just
They think they're
yeah,
awake, but they're really asleep.
right.
They want high grades for low work. That's what they want. That's what students want. And the administrators
That's
are
so
there.
sad.
Yeah, the
It's horrible.
administrators are there to accommodate that because,
Really?
yep.
Wow.
I mean, in general, in my experience, yeah. There's no defense of faculty that create conditions for student excellence by putting enormous pressure on them to do good work or basically fail. There's hardly any support for that. So you have this, how many accounts do you have on Instagram again?
So I have my account now.
Huh? You have a
Like I said,
backup account too, right?
I do, only because people were messaging me, "Oh, I have to go find you to see your stories."
Mhm.
And I felt bad. I was like, "All right, so I'm just going to make a backup." And I also really thought that my account would have been deleted by now. I really did. I was just
So
like,
maybe you
"Oh,
confuse them every time they go to your page, they see all this food and they're like, wait, did we get this wrong?
okay, so right. So again, pleasantly surprised because when I put out this post about, being conservative, Republican, loving God, two genders, all like you should have seen this post. This post was like scandalous. Okay, it was scandalous. You know, because before I'd ever posted that, it was all food and maybe a little bit of scripture and like, you know, funny memes, you know, what I was drinking today, what I was eating today. And when I put that post out, I remember this group of people formed this group to kind of let me know that they supported me. It was awesome. Like they messaged me
That's cool.
and they were like, we're with you on this. You know, I mean, a lot of the people who liked the post was like a bunch of written up notes. And some people were like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't like it. My following is too big. If people see me, you know, liking it, it's going to be bad for me. It was the most insane time of my life because I didn't know if I had the strength to hear some of the stuff that people said to me. Like, you know, yeah, bad, like really bad stuff. And then, you know, they would share the post, and which I kind of like was ready, but not ready. And I didn't realize the kind of backlash I was going to get. Yeah. It was bad. It was bad. It was hard. It was hard.
So do you mean this is comments in the comments or like in messages?
Everything, messages, comments, people reposting it to their stories and saying, look at this, you know what, yada yada. And then, okay, so I guess I didn't mention that my account, Ketoology, was like I hate saying the word, an influencer account. So I
hate that word too.
Okay, but I had all these promotions going and all these companies that would send me stuff for free, like tons of free everything, meat, protein powder, snacks, everything. So
cool.
these people,
if you have any extra, just send them to me.
I don't get anything anymore because
okay, you lost it.
A lot of these bigger influencers and smaller influencers messaged these companies and told them that they would boycott them if they didn't stop supporting me.
Right.
Yeah. So
That's
I didn't make a lot of monetary anything from it. It was more just free stuff. Maybe one or two companies would pay me a little for a post or for like a recipe that I would make for them. But yeah, so I wasn't I wasn't expecting that. Yeah. That was huge. That was huge. And like I'm not even that much of a big account. I know you're like thinking, oh, 13,000. I've lost a lot of people.
I know you
but
have.
Then the bigger accounts are like in the 100,000s.
I know, yeah.
And they make like in monetary, like, you know, like they make a lot of money doing what they do.
The highest number of followers that we've had so far, we're in talks with one that has about 800,000 right now. But I think it's like 800,000. That's the highest. That's the biggest one that we've had on here.
Wow.
But yeah, usually it's like between 20,000 and 100,000 that I reach out to. And some people I don't think they read their messages. But
yeah, some of the bigger accounts, they miss the messages, or they can't even get into their messages because there's too many.
There's too many,
yeah, there's too many. I get it.
Now, have you always been political, or did you become more more something after the lockdowns and you lost your job?
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. I guess I could use the term politically homeless to some extent. Mm-hmm. I didn't understand politics. I didn't want to know anything about it. I didn't know what a Democrat or a Republican was, you know?
Gotcha.
But I remember when I had a Facebook page, it asks you, like, are you this or that? And I remember putting liberal because I was like, yeah, I'm liberal. I'm liberal, you know? But I didn't know what it meant. Yeah. And then the last election,
Mm-hmm.
I remember
So you
getting
just
into a
said
really big fight.
you just said the E word. It's okay.
Ah!
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. So far, so
Oh,
good.
that's
Don't worry
so
about it.
difficult. That's
I
so
know. No,
difficult.
that's fine. It's fine.
How
Don't
do
worry
you
about it.
do it? How do you do it?
I mess up all the time too. It's fine. As long as
Okay.
we don't say them together and we just be careful, just don't say the F word. No. And everybody, you know what the F word is? It's not 4 letters. It's a crime. It's a crime. It has to do with like altering things. Okay, so go ahead.
Okay. Yeah.
You were talking about the last
I mean, I was always
cycle.
more conservative
Mm-hmm.
anyway. And pretty religious, but maybe not as conservative and as religious as I am now.
Gotcha.
You know?
Were you raised religious? Were you raised that
Yeah,
way?
I was raised Catholic, prayed the rosary every day.
Do you want to
We
say
went
where you
to
grew up?
in the Philippines. I grew up in the
The
Philippines.
Philippines, really?
Yeah.
What part? You want to say?
Manila. Manila.
Everybody says Manila. Are you sure it's Manila?
Yes, it's Manila. It's
Okay.
Manila.
I mean, I know it's a huge city.
Do you want me to say Luzon? Luzon. Which is
No, I
like,
mean, you know, a lot of people. There's a huge. The Philippines is a very big place, lots of islands,
right. Yeah.
and I'm not sure. Sometimes people like when I ask my students,
1,000.
when I ask one, yeah, when I ask my students where'd you grow up, sometimes they just say the biggest place, and
Oh yeah, no, no,
they
no.
don't want to say the
I'm
small
actually
place.
from, yeah,
So
I'm
you're from a
that.
big city,
Yeah. Yeah.
Luzon. Okay,
Luzon, yeah.
what was that
Luzon.
like growing up in the Philippines?
Uh Typically I would say pretty much the same as here. Like we were pretty westernized is what
Mhm.
I would say, you know. Um
And you believed the Catholic faith? You would you say that was a real belief of yours, or would you just say it was a tradition?
No, I think I was just going through life kind of on autopilot and just kind of like going with it, you know, like going to church like it wasn't I don't think I ever listened to any sermon, you know.
Okay.
There were parts of it that I felt iffy about and parts of it that I felt great about, you know.
Hmm.
And I mean nowadays I don't feel like you need to go to church to be a follower, to be, you know, a good Christian, a good Catholic, or, you know, I think of myself more of a Christian now, you
Okay.
know. Yeah.
Now, would you say you're still Catholic, or would you say you're more like Protestant or something?
So I got married in the Catholic Church
Okay.
because that's one of the traditions that I felt were, you know, worth it. It was worth kind of
Kind of a
like
big deal.
following. Yeah.
Marriage is kind of a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, waited so long to do it because I didn't think my husband and I didn't think we had to, you
Mm,
know. And it was, I think, definitely the pandemic that brought us so much closer together that we were like, you know,
that's cool.
let's get married. We weren't even engaged. We just kind of like 10 days, let's get married. All right, let's go, you know.
So
But
you were able to go to each other's wedding? Did you have to wear masks?
no masks.
That's
Awesome.
good. Who
Thank God.
and
I
you
think I
found
would have
somebody
died
to
if
you
anyone
didn't
was in
get
a
married
mask.
on Zoom, did you?
No,
That's
live and
good.
in person in a big church.
So
So
and there were people there?
yes.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
no one was in a mask. No one.
Oh, wow. How did you find these people? In New York?
So this
This
was
is in New
okay,
York?
mind you. All right, this was in December.
Okay.
I'm a
So
newlywed.
pretty recently. Okay, I got you. I
Yeah,
got you.
I'm a newlywed.
I got you.
Yeah.
Because I
And
was
like
hearing about the insanity in New York. I mean, we were dealing with it here in
still
California too.
insane. It's still insane. A lot of my husband's family are from Jersey, and Jersey had already had the whole mask mandate gone for a bit before New York did it.
Hmm.
But like me and my husband weren't wearing masks anymore anyway. It didn't matter, you know. We would just, you know.
Right.
I think the hardest thing was to go to the supermarket because everybody's like in a mask in a supermarket.
Did
I
you
don't know
put that
why.
stuff? Did you put the stuff in your body? Did you let them put that stuff in your body? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yourself? Yourself? No? Okay.
I mean,
All right.
look, I was in the military, so you had to have
Oh.
a certain panel of stuff to get in the military. But the way I break it down is what's tried and true and what's suspicious to me. The
Yeah.
whole origin of the recent flu that we're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm not denying it exists. I know it
Yeah,
exists.
no.
It's a
Obviously, yes,
virulent
yeah.
disease. It's a sickness that people get. But I have a different philosophy about what keeps you healthy. And when I see people pushing something that isn't really tried and tested, and
Mm-hmm.
it's concomitant with a cycle for office, where people actually cast their ballots and stuff like that.
Yes. Yes.
And I see the hatred and the irrationality, the economic irrationality of the lockdown, which made no sense.
Mm-hmm.
The irrationality of the masks, that didn't make any sense either. The
Yeah.
social pressures, that's not well thought out. The hatred of the president, the last president we had, was so deep and I think demonic.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the guy is a jerk, not denying that, not
Okay.
denying that at all.
Okay. Yeah,
He
yeah,
is
yeah,
a
yeah.
he is a butthead,
Yeah.
but
No, I
but
agree. I agree on that.
the level of hatred didn't match. There's something off by it. And I'll give you an example. When the 2016 returns came back in November, I was going to work. I was a professor. I was driving through Los Angeles. There were people blocking the road in Los Angeles. And it's like, okay, Los Angeles is a Democrat city. It's run entirely by Democrats. There's not a
Yes.
single Republican elected city council member that I know about.
Scary. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There was a Republican in the board of supervisors for the county, but these are Democrats blocking Democrats from going to work. It made no sense to me, that reaction. And not to mention Obama was president
Ugh.
at the time.
Oh.
Obama. And we had
Yeah.
a Democrat governor and Democrat mayor in the city.
Mm-hmm.
And the super majority of Democrats, it made no sense. And so I see this stuff happening in Los Angeles, and in Republican areas. It was very calm and peaceful. It was very calm and peaceful when Obama won. It was very calm and peaceful when Romney lost, when McCain lost. And so when they don't get their way, they're like little kids. They're little spoiled brats, and they even hit their own friends. And that's why I thought it was demonic. It was like a low grade stupidity. Like, I think in the realm of demons, there's probably some low grade stupid demons that are in charge of certain things. They're just not very smart.
That's
The
a
high
funny way to
grade
put it.
ones, yeah, I think the high grade ones,
Yeah.
I really do believe there might be some in charge of places like North Korea and places like the Soviet Union for a long time. Probably certain parts of the People's Republic of China, Vietnam, Cambodia during the 70s, Laos. So, I do think that there is evil in the world, and some of it
Oh
is
no, I agree.
supernaturally explained. So that's
I
my,
agree.
but
I agree.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So, when did you come to the United States? Your English is very good. Did you learn it in
Yes.
Philippines?
I mean, it's primarily English in the Philippines. So,
You speak Tagalog?
yeah. I do speak Tagalog fluently. I
Cool.
do. I didn't learn until I was in the 7th grade, though.
Oh, really? Wow. I didn't
Yeah.
know that. You had to study it in school?
I had to learn it or I'd probably get beat up.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know. No,
wow.
I don't know. I was a very rebellious child, and I got kicked out of my private school. This was the 6th grade,
Was it Catholic
and
school?
yes,
Okay.
yes, and
That's funny.
I ended up going to this artsy. Can I say fartsy?
Sure.
Artsy school.
Sure. You can say whatever you want.
And it was the only one that would accept me.
That's
And
cool.
everyone there was very musically inclined and also very artsy fartsy. But they could speak Tagalog, and I had to learn quickly.
Gotcha.
And I did. I did. I did. Yeah, quickly.
That's awesome. Now, did you come to the US as an adult then? Or
Yes, at 24. I was born here, and so I'm an American citizen. But I moved here at 24.
oh, okay. So you came back to the US at 24. And
Yeah.
and did you go to college?
In the Philippines, I went for interior design school.
Okay.
So ridiculous, right?
Artsy
You're
fartsy.
making me look back on the past.
Well,
I don't even remember these things.
you're an activist, and so we are interested in everything about that what makes an activist and what I think you're fairly successful in your activism. I mean, you might not think you have a lot of followers. I think that's a lot of followers. I think you probably reach a lot more people than you realize. Because I know I've shared stuff from you and that stuff has been shared and it originally came from you. So,
Awesome.
or at least as
That's
far
cool.
as it came from me, maybe.
Yeah.
took it from someone.
I'm shocked at how many people follow me. Like, cause I can't typically scroll through everyone who looks at my stories, but you can see who sees it. And there are people on there who don't follow me, but frequent my stories, And then there are people who follow me, but don't want me following them back.
Oh,
So
that's
weird.
funny.
Like I'll click, follow just because, to return the favor. And they're like, no, I just want to watch your stories. That's it.
They tell
So
you,
I don't
like
know
they
if
write you
they're
a message
fans.
and they tell you?
No, so some people will like have talk to me, converse with me on a daily basis. Roz, thank you so
Oh,
much. You have no idea. I had no idea this was happening, and it's great. But no, they don't tell me they're not following me. They just don't follow. They don't let me follow them back.
oh, because it's private.
I guess. I guess it's private for them. I don't know.
You
I mean, really, they should be thinking about who's seeing that they follow me.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think the design of Instagram was originally to be not political. I think it was for
Yeah.
like food pictures and family
Yes.
pictures and it's
Yeah.
not really conducive to sharing text and ideas.
Right.
Facebook is better for that because you can write out something and
Right. It's
people
definitely not
will read
Facebook.
it. Yeah. Facebook has
Definitely not.
pictures, it has videos as well. You can
Yeah.
share links, but Instagram isn't really like you can't really share stories like news stories very effectively. You can just take a screenshot, but
Right.
so that's why I'm interested in using Instagram for political activism is very interesting. I think it's kind of hard to do actually. So anybody that does it effectively, I think it's interesting. How long did it take you when you were doing Instagram to
Well, so
go, I
Instagram's
actually have
changed.
something to say. So
Okay, good. I'm sorry.
no. I was saying, I was
Yeah.
asking you a question. I was
You're trying to
asking,
get to a point. I get it.
no. I was asking you a question of
Okay.
how long did it take you using Instagram for you to feel like you have something to say on Instagram, like politically? You want to make some commentary. You don't want to just share food pictures. You
Well,
have
I was
some
already
thought.
watching this whole wokeness movement going on.
Mhm.
And like a lot of the influencers the bigger ones and following, they would share all kinds of crazy stuff, and I would just, like, because my thing was, oh, just skip on by. You don't have to have an opinion in that. You might disagree, but they don't need to know.
Right.
Like, maybe they just want your gravy recipe, like, no big deal. Whatever. Maybe they have a great bread recipe, and it really was pretty shallow. It was pretty shallow. it just got worse and worse and worse. And I was seeing these crazy social justice warriors. Is that what you call them? You know,
That's
just
fine.
sharing
Yeah.
stuff that was unreal to me. Unreal.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's just everything that's happened in the last 2 years, you know,
Yeah.
from
It's been a lot to take in.
It's crazy. I can't even fathom how
Yeah.
where we are in the world right now. I just want to get back to, I mean, maybe not normal. Maybe normal wasn't great, you know? Maybe this wasn't the world we deserved anyway, because it's always been kind of manipulated and corrupted. So yeah, if we're going for better, it's not the better that this guy's doing. So whatever this better is that he thinks he's doing.
I really appreciate that you use Instagram to push back and have a voice that doesn't just say what everybody else is saying. Not everybody else, but
it's still really scary. Like right now, the account that you follow, I have it on private because when it is like that, people are the way people feel like they can I don't know how to explain it. The way people feel more open about like insulting you and sharing your stories or posts to insult you. You get what I'm saying? So
sure. I know exactly that technique. It's not designed to persuade you that you're wrong. It's designed to humiliate you.
Yeah.
And to prevent you from making money.
Like it was literally every second of the day that every post that I would put up had a warning that you, and I don't know if you've seen these, if you put something up that they don't agree with, and I guess a bunch of people have done the same post, then they say you need to delete the post or you're going to get deleted. Like, it's like, so, and this could be weeks after you posted it, you know, something that they're just like, well, you can't say that.
Yeah. I've noticed that too. It's not right away. It's like sometimes they go back into the past.
Yeah. But it was starting to be daily, like daily, every day, your account is going to get shut down and you're not going to be able to share any of this anymore.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and it's weird. It's like if you really don't like that.
Do you hear the fire horn?
I do. A little bit.
Sorry.
Not very.
I think we have like 9 fire departments in town.
Oh. Okay. Can you go out there and like tell them, hey, I'm doing an interview, a podcast interview?
Sorry. It happens all the time. Just when I'm like not expecting it.
Just tell them that you're on with the Republican professor and they'll stop doing it. I guarantee you. Yeah. They all know me, so.
Of course, I know you're popular.
Are they wearing masks?
Okay. Oh, so my town is probably one of the most liberal towns in New York State. Yeah.
Is it the Bronx?
So it took a while before people weren't in masks, and I still see a lot of people in them. So
it is funny the difference between Democrats and Republicans on masks. If I see somebody driving with a mask on by themselves, I pretty much know that's a Democrat. I mean, it could be it could be an idiot Republican, but it's probably a Democrat.
It's probably a Democrat.
So it is interesting that you can just tell right away. I could tell. So I was onto the BS probably. I mean, definitely even before the lockdown, I was onto the BS here in California. When the lockdown happened, I was pretty traumatized because so many people were going along with it. And I thought, you know, if you just disagree with it and you just go about your daily life, probably it would not have been so bad. But because people, I don't know if they were all watching the news. I don't have a television, so I don't watch the news.
You don't?
No.
Really?
And I can tell people are, yeah.
That's amazing. Really?
Yeah, I haven't had a TV in a long time. I read books.
Okay, I don't have a microwave. Does that count?
Really?
I don't have a
I don't know if I
microwave
could
yet.
do without a microwave. I need
Really?
that.
My husband's so against it. My husband's so against it. He's always been.
Do you have an oven?
We do.
Okay.
How would I
How
make
far
all
does
that
this
food?
go? How does it? Do you have
How would I make all that
candles?
food?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And yeah, I just can tell people start watching. They have some story they're talking about. Like people were talking about taking people's guns away. I'm like, okay, I know what happened. There's a bunch of murders that happened. And actually on social media, you can
Should I mute it? Sorry.
no, it's fine. They have something they want to say.
So bad.
They have something they want to say. They want us to know there's something bad happening. But
Every day. No fail.
what
Every day.
I come at this from an educator perspective. So when people, I see how or whether my students are ready for the world, and they're not.
Right.
They're not ready for the world, and the college is not preparing them for it. I do the best
Are
I
you
can. I do the best I
you still
can, but
teach? You do
yeah,
still teach.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I do the best I can, but the way it's set up is it's democratically set up where you're evaluated by the students. So if you're tough on the students and they don't like that, it's the same as Instagram. Then you get
Right.
these complaints and warnings,
Yeah.
and it's like, well, actually I'm the professor and I'm just trying to
Yeah.
help you deal with the world.
Exactly. Be ready for a
And
job where a boss is going to be like yelling
yeah,
at you and, oh, you're not going to like it?
it's sick.
So then
The
what?
the campuses are sick.
It's,
They're very sick. They're not preparing kids. They're not preparing kids for the world.
yeah.
So I'm not surprised that the lockdowns worked because the campuses have been failing America for 20, 30 years now, and it's only
Mhm.
getting worse. I don't know how bad it's going to get, but
Yeah, they're after
well,
our kids.
where do you see this going? Do you see this as perpetual problems with masks and lockdowns, or are you worried about that
I
at all?
hope not. I mean, like, I, I don't think I'm ever going to comply again. you know? And it's actually a relief to know that a lot of people will not be complying either. I mean, we live in like cities that are just kind of hard, you know? Like I kind of want to move to Mississippi and just buy some cows and some chickens and just not deal with this anymore. Like it's hard. We used to go into the city, New York City all the time, and it's like it's a war zone, you know? It's scary. It's scary to go into New York City.
Really?
Not the same as it was. We used to walk around everywhere and just get lost and take pictures and
Yeah.
you know. And it's just not that place anymore. My daughter works in the city and she drives in because I wouldn't let her take the train, you know. But I also don't want like I hate to say that because I've always been that person who's like, you don't want to live in fear forever.
The
You know,
train not safe?
there's been a lot of stabbings and people pushing people into the train tracks and I'm just like, okay, people are so angry.
And you
They're
can't
not
carry a
getting enough
gun.
oxygen to their brains, you know,
They
because of
won't
these
let you
masks.
carry a gun for self-defense.
Exactly.
Bad.
And New York's
Really bad.
really strict. New
Yeah.
York's really strict with that. Like I can
Well,
have like a
the Soviet
shotgun,
Union
but
was really strict too. The Nazis were really strict on the Jews. I
yeah.
would say it's just, I wouldn't even say it's strict because strict makes it sound like it's good. Like it's I would
Right.
say it's abusive. That's what I would say.
I'm sorry.
Have you ever shot a gun before?
No. No.
Would you like to learn?
Of course. So we had actually been setting it up. Oh, you're gonna laugh. Well, maybe not. You might. This is gonna sound shady. but the only gun range that was close to us burned down a couple of months ago.
Oh boy,
I mean,
that's not good.
sounds a little shady to me, but
Yeah, what's going on with that?
you know, like is the one that was most especially like kind of that anybody could come to, you know? So
Okay.
yeah,
It's hard to
we were
learn
gonna
if you don't
go
have a
and
gun
just
range.
yeah. So it's been crazy. It's been a crazy time. So
Well, I'm glad that you're healthy and you're working and you seem to like your job. That's good.
thank you. I like my boss.
You have a
I like
good
my job.
relationship. That's good.
Yeah, yeah. I have a great boss. A lot of my clients are cops, you
Oh,
know, and a lot of them are Republicans. So that's, I mean, maybe that's just lucky, but I do get people who are just like really liberal. And when you're stuck in a small room with them,
do they make you wear
yeah.
a mask, or do they tell you to
So
wear a
I
mask?
have to when I'm working because it's
Oh,
the medical facility, but I
okay.
wear like a special mask that I can actually breathe through. So
Oh,
no one's
that's good.
really said anything. But you know, like as soon as they get into my room, I'm like, you can take your mask off. You know, like you're really gonna
Good
get
for
a
you.
massage with a mask on? What's
Good
wrong
for
with you?
you.
Yeah, I tell them all the time, take it off. You're fine. You
Do you
know,
have
you'll
a
be
good
fine.
relationship with your daughter?
I do. I think much more now that she's older. I have an adult daughter. I had a baby really early in life, and you know, I mean, we were really close when she was younger. Like I was like her best friend, and then she grew up and she was a teenager, and teenagers or something or something.
Yeah.
So, but now we're great. We're great.
Does she
Yeah.
have similar views that you do, or do you
You
guys
know, she's
talk?
pretty conservative, but she's also like part of that generation, that Gen Z generation that's pretty open to stuff. Pretty
Yeah,
open. Yeah, she doesn't share a lot of my views, but she does listen to me. She
that's
does
good.
listen.
Well, that's
Yeah,
good.
you
That's
know, and
good.
I do feel like it opens up her mind to a different idea. You know,
Hmm.
so yeah, slowly we're working on her. We're working on her.
Did she go to college?
She did.
Okay. Well, depending on what she majored in and where she went, uh, that has an influence too.
So she went to community college. Oh, sorry about that.
No
She went to
problem.
community college, and she is a chef. So
Oh, cool.
yeah,
That's very practical. I like that.
yeah. It's not what she's doing, but she, you know, it's not what she's doing for work. But
I think that's a really good value for your money community college. I've taught in the community colleges for almost 2 decades, and
yeah,
it's
it
a
was one of the
wonderful
best
you
decisions
yeah,
that we
cool.
made. Yeah,
Well, thanks for coming on and talking to us and letting us
thank
get to
you.
know you
I'm
a bit.
sorry, I'm not more what's the word? I always forget my words. I'm so sorry.
So you're not a
I
you're not a white supremacist. You're not a
Yes,
Nazi.
yes.
Okay. You
No,
voted
no,
for
no.
Trump, but you're not a Nazi?
I voted for him because of conservative values, not
Of
because he was my
course.
favorite person. He
No.
wasn't my favorite person. In fact, I almost lost my relationship with my mother because of this.
Oh.
So, just so you
She
know.
does she think he's like a racist or something?
No, she doesn't. She actually loves him.
Oh, she does.
She
She
does.
loves Trump.
Yeah.
Okay, so I misread that. So you're saying she loves Trump and you didn't like him.
No,
And so, or
no.
wait,
I thought
what
he
are you?
was a douche. I thought he was a jerk, you know, which
He is a
I mean,
douche.
there's still parts of it, parts of that, but I had voted for him because of certain conservative values. You know,
So Hillary was running, remember back when everybody knew what a woman was? And they were like,
what is that? You're
"Oh,
not allowed to say that word.
yeah." So
You're
she's
not allowed to say
running and
woman.
she's like, "I'm a woman." And
Imagine.
I think her slogan was just "I'm with her." That's all it was. Something like that.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that's what her slogan was.
Mm.
And she so you're saying you didn't vote for her, not because you don't hate women. You don't hate women, right?
No.
You're not in the Klan.
No.
Maybe you were and they kicked you out once they realized, what, you're from the Philippines, what,
Asian. I'm Asian though.
you're Asian. But so, like, when I was teaching in 2016, people had very simplistic views of this stuff. They were like, oh yeah, Hillary's a woman, we have to vote for her. Trump is a racist. I mean, that was the
Right.
level that I was dealing with in college.
Yeah, no, I know. No, I know. I remember.
There's some people that still have those views. It's just weird to me. So you
You
look
know,
at the,
it's
you're gonna say,
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. You were
no,
saying
no, go ahead.
no.
So
Yeah, no,
so
I wasn't here for Hillary.
ah,
Yeah, no, I
you
didn't
weren't in New
vote.
York.
I didn't vote. I voted during the last election. No. I was here. I just didn't vote then. I was so like non-political back then
Ah,
that I didn't think I had to vote. I didn't feel like I needed to vote, you know, but
okay.
I didn't have like one person or the other,
Right.
really, you know,
Okay.
and it was only until I started really paying attention to certain things that were happening that I understood a little better, even if I still wasn't like a Trump fan. You know, like I was just like, this guy, he's such a douche. He's such a jerk. You know, I don't like him.
Yeah.
And yeah, but my mom was significant when it came to that. Yeah.
Wow. She likes Trump, huh? What does she like about him?
That he's pro-life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that he does quote God every so often and stuff like that. I guess just little conservative. My mom doesn't understand politics either, so it's like, you know, it's kind of like one of those tough things to strike. But she's very religious, so she believes that as as horrible as his personality can be, that he was there for a reason. So
Gotcha.
religion is a thing.
Do you have
So
a tight relationship with your mom?
I do. I do.
That's cool.
I do. Yeah.
What about your dad? Is he still in the picture?
So my dad and my mother are separated. They're not together. My dad's remarried. And we were never close until a couple of years ago. And then he moved back home to the Philippines.
Okay.
He retired.
Oh, okay.
Good for him. Yeah.
Do you see any future in politics for yourself?
Me? I'm not eloquent enough. You know, I make too many crazy faces too. So I roll my eyes too much. I don't like listening to authority. So, I mean, probably not. Probably not.
Where do you get your material for your stories?
Where do I get my material?
Are you always on the hunt for that?
Oh, so here's the trick, right? I don't know if you do this, but the best way to have stories pop up, even if you're not following certain accounts, is to follow hashtags.
Oh, I don't do that.
Do you do that? Okay,
I
so
do
when
not
you
do that.
follow, yeah, no, it's awesome. So that's a great way not to have to follow like a million different accounts, you know,
Well,
because
I
that's
didn't
what,
know
like,
you could follow hashtags.
oh, so you know when you go into the search bar and you're looking for a certain account,
Mm-hmm.
you can just here. I'm going to show you.
I'm gonna
right
take
now.
a look. Okay.
Okay. Right. So when
Getting some free training here.
you go
people.
into like say, yes, sort of. So when you go into like the explore page, you know what I'm talking about, like the magnifying glass.
Yeah.
And you see like, yeah, search bar. Then you can type in a word like, I don't know, say pro-life, you know, and just click that. Are you doing it?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. So click that. And now you're going to see either the 3 lines, a person, the music note, or the hashtag.
Wait,
Are you
hold on.
seeing that? Have you updated Instagram? It's
No.
updated maybe a million times since. So,
Oh, okay.
But that's fine. You could just
Do I have to search hashtag pro-life to get it?
let me see what page you're on, if you don't mind.
Oops, sorry. It
That's
went to
okay. You don't have to
pro-life
show me.
Texas for some reason.
Oh,
This is what it looks like for me. I just put pro-life in the
okay.
search
So
bar.
right. So click that. Click pro-life. Right.
Okay.
Click it, and
I
so
don't know why
another
it's-
page is gonna come up.
Okay. So then it's this just a bunch of
Right.
stuff.
So, but on the very top, do you see that there's like 3 lines, a person?
The very top,
I
it
can't
just
really
has the
see
search.
yours.
The very top, it
Do you
just has
see
a
mine?
search bar.
Oh, right. So you see that? It
Oh,
says pro-life.
I don't have the 3 bars.
Oh.
Let me see. Just says
I guess you
top.
could just do hashtag pro-life. Yeah,
Okay.
I think you can do that. Hashtag pro-life.
I mean, there's a
Yeah.
bunch of stuff that comes up. I'm
Yeah,
not
no,
sure
that's
if
easier.
this is
That's easier to do. Right. And then
hashtags
so
or
all
whatever.
these people who have tagged that hashtag
Gotcha.
on their accounts will pop up. So if you're looking for like Republican accounts or like people who are sharing,
Wow. That's a
this and
gold
that.
mine. Thank you.
Right. So, but then what you
Yeah,
can do is
that's
you
really
can
good.
save that hashtag. It would allow you, like, you should be on a page that looks like this. Okay.
Oh,
So you see
wow.
how it's.
Yeah, I see
And
that.
then if you click on pro-life, then it says on the top, follow. It's like I'm following it.
Oh.
So then
Okay, let me
everything
try
that's
that.
pro-life is going to come up for you and in your stories, even if you don't follow certain groups or certain accounts.
I gotcha. Oh,
Yeah, but that's
okay. Yep, it came up as
Get it?
pro-life followed by the fatty truth.
a.
We had a lot of fun booking you, by the way, because we send the booking confirmation, and it was like, because it usually has the last name, comma, first name. So they put what did they put for you? It's hilarious.
The fatty.
Yeah, it was like fatty, comma. No, it was truth, comma, the fatty podcast booking confirmation. It's hilarious.
Yeah,
Wow,
no, I know. When I saw it too, it was fun.
this is a gold mine here. This is great.
Yeah, no, that's
I
like
guess
the best way to see. And like if you'll notice, the people that are on the very top of the videos, those got the most views.
okay.
Like there's like a method to the madness, and that's what you wanna, that's what you wanna.
Okay,
see.
so I got to use the hashtag. Maybe that's what I should start doing. Use hashtags.
Yeah.
I never put hashtags on my stuff.
Well, you don't have to put them on your account. A lot of people don't, but to follow those hashtags makes a big difference because then you'll see like all the like recent news and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So abortion is a big deal for your family. And that's
For me.
And your mom.
And my mom.
For your mom.
Yeah, but I have family that don't agree so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do that. I think a lot of people will say, I'm pro-choice. That's what they would say. That's how they would say it. And so therefore they can't vote for Trump. So they have to vote for Hillary. I think that's how a lot of people think. If abortion is a key issue for them, that's as far as their analysis goes. And if Trump is kind of a butthead, it's just easier to even say that. You might not like Hillary.
Yeah.
Maybe you think sounds like fingernails on a chalkboard, but that if you're pro-choice and that's your big issue, or you think there's 53,000 genders and that's your big issue. I don't know too many people that are that passionate about that. Seems like it's a very, 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 very small minority of people that are passionate about that. But in the Second Amendment community, which I am in California, the Second Amendment is a huge deal. It's a huge deal.
It's a big deal to me.
Being able to protect yourself and not be a criminal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Which is why I need to get out of New York.
Yeah.
Because it's impossible here.
It's tough. Yeah, it's tough. It's pain.
Mississippi all the way. I'm ready. I'm ready to go to Mississippi.
We'll learn how to milk a cow, get those organic chickens.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Well, Roz, we are grateful for your friendship and connection.
Thanks for having me. I hope I shed some light on something. I'm not the most eloquent.
You get the double thumbs up. I don't give this out very often, but you get the double thumbs up because we love your Instagram account. We get so much value out of it. We thank you for all the work you put into it. We hope that you keep going. You carve right through the censorship. Just keep going and keep being you in your circle of influence.
Thank you so much. I'll share your account as well. That way people can kind of reach out to you. Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope you don't get shadow banned for that. Yeah.
I'm already shadow banned, so
you already are. So
just keep on being shadow banned.
The censorship is really bad. It's real, right? It's not. You're not just making it up. The censorship is real.
It's real.
Yeah.
Real.
Well, you keep.
Yeah, and I'm convinced there's real people behind it too. So, it's not just this algorithm that Instagram has. I'm sure they have a bunch of hashtags that they follow as well. Like, try hashtagging the you know what. There's no way you can. It's gone.
I'm going to try that right now.
It's gone.
So you should be able to hashtag whatever you want, right?
Nah, you can't. There's certain words. I mean, unless that's changed since, but you couldn't.
You should. You should be able to hashtag
there's certain
everything.
Things that Instagram has hidden so much of that they've decided, you can't even type that in without a certain 3-letter company coming up.
Okay.
No.
Let me see this. Okay, so I did your account. Right?
Okay.
Is that what you were talking about?
No.
Hashtag,
so
okay.
Yeah. So if you hashtag, you know what I'm talking about. The thing. The thing.
Oh, the sickness.
Yeah. No, the pointy thing.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
You mean actually spell that out?
Yeah, with a V.
The thing that puts
the
thing that puts stuff in your body.
Right. If you do that.
Should I put the and then the word?
No, just VA.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Not Veterans Administration, but okay, yeah, I see that. Yep, fewer than 100 posts.
Right. So then click on it. Click the post. And it won't, I don't think it'll let you go there. It will lead you to the C, you know what? The centers for you know what. Anyway, so yeah.
Wow. Yeah. There's something squirrely going on with that.
Swirly?
Yeah.
I don't know, your Instagram might be broken.
Suspicious.
Oh, okay.
That's what I mean by that. There's something off. Yeah, there's social media. You got to be really careful because there's just all sorts of stuff going on underneath the surface that they don't tell you. And it's hard to understand what's going on. But it does seem to be political. Are you saying that Instagram and Facebook are run by Democrats? And they might have some kind of bias or agenda?
Of course. Okay. How long have you had your account?
Since 2018.
Okay. So if you made a new account today, the first thing that would pop up is all Democrats. And they'd be like, would you like to add this person and this person and this person? Everyone.
Wow. You've actually tried this?
Yeah, well, what did I do? I think I tried to make a new account for a business and it asked me if I wanted to add so forth and so on. And I was like, what?
Like Cory Booker or something or what?
No, like Joe Biden.
Oh, wow.
Right? You like to add Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and his wife and yeah.
Wow. These people are relentless.
Yeah.
They're crazy.
Yeah.
Can you
At one
imagine a
point-
world where it was the opposite? Imagine where everybody was on social media and it was just all Republican bias. Can you imagine how furious the
not-
other side would be?
Exactly.
It's like, well,
Okay.
you think we're crazy. What if it was reversed? How would you feel? You know,
Yeah.
all the colleges are Republican bias.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you're constantly being shadow banned as if you're a Democrat.
Right, exactly.
I
At
don't
one
believe in
point,
censorship.
the new White House Instagram page was you would have it, you would be following it without having to follow it.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. And everybody
doesn't
was like,
surprise me.
there was a week where people were complaining, you know how many times I've deleted it? And they all of a sudden
I
they're
saw
there
that.
again. Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's how you know that
We're from
there's
the
something
government
else
and we're here to
going-
help.
Absolutely. Of
That's
course.
what
No, I
Ronald
trust them.
Ronald Reagan.
I trust
Yeah,
them with
that's
all
what
my
Ronald
heart.
Reagan said. Ronald Reagan said those were the 9 most scariest words in the English language. We're from the government and we're here to help.
Exactly. I agree.
All right, Roz, we're going to let you go, and hopefully
you.
this is like the first of other times. We'll hopefully get you back on maybe later in the year and get your impressions of things and get you to check in and make political commentary. We'd be happy to have you back.
If I'm not in Mississippi with my chickens.
If
I
you
will.
are, we definitely want to have you back then.
Okay,
because
okay.
You can tell people how to do it.
Deal.
Okay,
Deal.
sounds good.